2016-2017 school term in accordance with Section 5/24-11 of the Illinois School Code in a form substantially similar to Exhibit A. This resolution shall be in full force and effect upon its passage. Section 3.
Discussion? I have a question.
Go ahead.
Of these teachers that are on the list, is there a possibility that they will be rehired based on the need, or is this?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we 45 days out now?
We're beyond the 45 days. So the 45 days, I believe, the last time I looked at the calendar, put us around the end of April. So we're meeting that expectation. But let me remind the board that you have in your contract that I need to tell the employee of their placement by April 15th, which includes a door number, a building, and their assignment.
That's what I'm saying. So now that you know what option we're going for, don't you have a direction on where to go, and so that you know if these teachers are needed or not? And so then instead of getting rid of 17 teachers, look to see where we might need them before we get rid of them all, and potentially lose good teachers.
I'm of the mind that your statement is correct, that we'll be able to place them accordingly. But that this board, and I have to be somewhat, realistic. The future boards may have a different position on this.
In which part? I mean, if they're not losing their job, then
let's put it in
it wouldn't
context.
be.
The current board can't bestow upon future boards what they want them to do.
But that would be day-to-day operations, so we wouldn't
understand.
be able to do that anyways.
I understand, but what I'm trying to articulate with you is each scenario still has certain expectations on who we do and do not renew.
That's what I'm saying.
If I riff or I dismiss according to one of those models, you can't come back and make adjustments to that because there could be a cost with respect to that decision. For example, if positions were to change and you were to, if the board was to take a position that they wanted to go back to scenario 4, we would be beyond that 45 days, which means you cannot dismiss the teachers with respect to scenario 4. You would have to hold true with whatever dismissals or renewals you've put in place over the next 2 to 3 months.
Well, it's been voted on. We're going to grade centers. So,
I understand.
So why wouldn't we take the time to go back before we release these 17 teachers now that the direction has been given?
We're going to.
Then why?
That's why your statement was true at the beginning when I mentioned your statement. You said that's a true statement.
So then why can't we table this
and not do this and try to utilize the teachers that we have instead of losing them?
The advice of our attorney was to move in this direction and bring them back if you so need them. That was the advice of our attorney.
Even though there's a decision made?
Even though there's a decision made. That was the advice of our attorney.
I mean, I know you always speak of being mindful. This isn't being very mindful of people. Doesn't appear to be.
Well, cutting people in general is not mindful.
No, I know that's not mindful.
I
mean, when we're saying that we're going to need teachers and we know what direction we're moving in, and I mean, I know we had the same motion showing up on 3 agendas, but it's over now and it's going to grade centers and we have to move on, and let's make sure it works now. Let's not let's try and keep as much as we possibly can. Like, as many teachers that have been with these students, let's try and keep them. The less destructive and disruptive as possible is what we need right now, not more craziness. But, I understand it's the advice of the attorney, and I don't like going against the advice of the attorney, but I don't necessarily agree with this.
I don't always agree either. I think that we want to be respectful to the employees, and we want to be able to have people that know about our climate and culture, but at the same extent we have to be mindful of some of the issues that I outlined for you earlier, where I'm going to have to staff for positions that we currently do not have. For instance, I do not have a Polish-speaking ELL teacher. And so I have to take a look at how we're going to plan for.
No, and I
plan for
understand that, and where I
those
understand that we're
positions.
gonna need to probably dismiss some teachers, but not all 17 of them. So couldn't we go on, I mean, you still have within the means of the 45 days. So you have time to try and do the planning, since you have to meet that expectation anyways, to start finding and aligning where everyone's gonna go, and maybe be able to save some of those teachers' jobs and not get rid of them where they end up going elsewhere, and then just get rid of the minimum of what we need to do, because you'll have the expectations of what is going to need to be met. I just think the less disruptive it is to the students, and if they have a friendly face, and if they see somebody, it would be a lot better than throwing in a bunch of new teachers and a bunch of different things, and we're changing it up the way it is. So that is my only thoughts.
Is this inclusive of the amount that we talked about for option 5 last time?
Yes.
Okay, so it's the increase is by 11, right?
No, 8.
8, I'm sorry.
It's 8.
Your roll call, please.
Mr. Edisavich?
Yes.
Mr. Biondo?
Yes.
Mr. Bellafiore?
Yes.
Mr. Tishulio?
Yes.
Mr. Chaperone?
No.
Mrs. Paletti?
I hate this. But I can't vote against the recommendation from the attorney, and I'm deeply sorry for that. Yes.
Mrs. Steph?
I can, and I've got a bill.
Motion to approve the resolution of non-renewal of dismissal for the first through third year probationary teacher. Public participation. Board meeting reflections.
We have board comments again.
I already had. I'm sorry, board comments? Yes, go ahead.
I just, can we just make sure that we have the social workers working with, like, the 7th grade? Who's gonna be transferring over to the new school for
Absolutely.
graduation?
Absolutely. We have great professionals, so there's no doubt in my mind that the teachers are going to be very resilient in this, and they're going to provide whatever services are needed to assure that our kids are in the best hands. So our social workers are really intimately involved with any and all students as they make the transition.
Thank you.
I just want to say that I am deeply disappointed that this board chose to vote against the professionals, to go against the empirical data that has been provided that shows the educational deficits that children get from not having a cohesive plan put in place, and that the amount of time that it takes to smoothly transition from a K-8 building to a K-5 junior high. And I feel that this was a reckless decision on our part, and I cannot say strongly enough how deeply disappointed I am that this is how we've chosen to go.
Any other board comments? The board reflections, the last month's reflections are there. And I need a motion to adjourn at 8:54. All in favor say aye, opposed say nay. Aye. Motion carries.